Hey, this is Dave at houseparents.com. Today we're going to take on a DIY project of building a skim filter for this pond. As you can see, this pond has, in spite of the netting that we put on it in the fall, there's still plenty of debris that ends up in the pond. If it's springtime now, we're going to take this netting off, but I want a skim filter to basically keep the debris that falls on the surface of the pond filtered off. If you look online, there's a lot of products you can buy. They are pricey. And so what I thought I would do is try my hand at doing a DIY project of building one. It's really pretty straightforward. Basically what we need is a filter, pump, the bin itself, and a gasket. And if we can get those things all put together right, we should have a very economical skim filter. Right, to get started, got a piece of Lexan, 0.093 inch thickness, 10 inches across, 8 inches tall. And what we're going to do is use this as the gasket material. Alright, so on the short side, on the 8-inch side, I'm going to mark it at 4 inches. And we're just going to score this. Now I've got two pieces, measuring over from each side an inch, and then from the bottom of the cut another inch. So there's the shape of the gasket itself. Alright, the next part here is I'm going to, in each of these corners, I'm going to drill a hole. I'm going to add the second piece behind it. So I'm basically making two of these. And I've got a couple stainless steel screws. I'm just going to screw these together. And what I'm doing is holding these pieces of Lexan together so I can cut on these lines, and I'll cut through both of them. The holes will also, once I remove these screws, these holes will serve as corners for where I finish the cut. And there we go. That's going to be what we're going to use as the gasket. So basically this area here is where the water will flow in. Right, this is the Rubbermaid Action Packer storage containers, 14 gallons. And then we'll take our marker. So there you can see that's the hole that we have through which the water will flow. I spaced out the washers to where I want the holes to be, and it's just kind of an equal spacing around the entire border of the gasket. And now I'm going to go ahead and drill basically an exact hole this diameter, and that's a 1/4 inch. So we'll drill each of those and we'll be ready to mount it. Alright, so I found that the 19/64 drill bit will allow the threads to pass through as well. So there we have the holes all through our gasket. Now what we can do is take this and line this up so that it's equal on all sides, and then I'll be able to drill through the actual container itself. So ready to stick it in the pond. All right, I pulled the liner back on the pond a bit so I could have room to dig. And I found the level of the water, and basically the level of the water is 5.5 inches below that bubble, or 5 3/4 inches below that bubble. And so I follow this line. There's water inside this tube, and so it automatically finds level. So follow that all the way over. And so follow that line over here, and this is that same mark where that water is. So 5 3/4 inches below this is the water level. That's where the water level is. So now I can go ahead and take my level and put it right there. And then once I get that lined up, the top of that level is where the water is going to be going into the skimmer box, which is about midway through that hole right there. So that's where it needs to be. So now we just got to go and attach this dirty liner, which is going to take a little bit of cleaning, and we're going to attach it between this plate, and then there'll be the rubber container. So you got this plate, then the rubber container, and then the other piece of this plate is going to be on the back side right there. And so we'll sandwich them all together. All right, so we've cleaned this up pretty well, roughed it up with sandpaper, and there's the outline of what we're going to cut out so that we can make that opening. And then I'm going to give it one final cleaning with some isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and then we'll go ahead and glue this together. All right, for the sealant we're using this Loctite PL adhesive marine fast cure. It's made for above waterline or below waterline. All right, so we've got these two. One is going to go on the outside of this, one is going to go here, and we'll screw them together, and we'll have adhesive on both back sides of this, adhesive here, adhesive under the liner and on top of the liner. All right, so now we'll go ahead and cut out this patch. Kind of doing this pretty exact. All right, so we can get rid of that, and that should be the right size to go around our box. All right, so now we put both plates around the liner. Now just drilling a hole. This is a 1/4 inch drill bit. It's a little smaller than the original holes. I'm gonna fit this on. Just do one bolt at a time here. It's all glued in now, and those screws are tightened. I'll just kind of clean up the excess. It's a bit messy, but I'd rather it be plentiful than not enough. And it's a 24-hour cure, so now we just have to wait. The pump we're using for this pond is a 2,100 gallon Alpine. We've purchased a couple of these in the past and they work like a champ, super reliable. We'll have a link in the description below if you're interested in any of these kinds of pumps. In a later video, we're going to show you how we make a waterfall for this small pond. But for now, you can just see the function of it. We've got the 2,100 gallon per hour pump pumping out of this box and back into the pond, much like it would if this pipe ran around to a waterfall. And you can see that for this box, the flow of water into the box is just perfect to keep the water moving towards the box and then allowing us to skim off any of the leaves or debris that's floating on top of the water, which is exactly what it's designed to do. When we were all finished with this, we built this for just about $40. And you can look online and you're going to see boxes anywhere from 150 to 250 to 350, just depends on the size, what you're looking for. So with a little bit of an investment in time, you can accomplish the very same thing and do it a lot cheaper. And so if you watch any of our videos, you know we're trying to show you how to do a job yourself so you can save a lot of money. This is one of those kind of jobs. I hope this video helps. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We've got lots more videos coming. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.